Hey guys, I'm gonna talk to you guys about some changes that you'll be having to make mid to late game with the build, Soulrend Aura. This is about the time to convert a lot of your damage nodes like atrophy and growth and decay. We're gonna convert those into cluster jewels, being the medium cluster jewels and the aura effect. We're going to want two or three medium clusters for damage mainly, and the 2% energy shield regen from vital reinvigoration is really strong, so we get two of those. We also go with a brush of death, but brush of death is really nice with the energy shield on kill, especially in ultimatum. It's very nice. What else? Oh yes, eternal suffering is very nice. It gives us chaos damage, so that scales the explode very well. It also gives us withered on hit. By this point, you will want a level 3 enlightened, and you are going to want to get a small cluster jewel. If you don't have charisma on your amulet and you don't have an enlightened, then you will need two of these. But I recommend getting either charisma on your amulet or an enlightened. Also, note that with cluster jewels, this is a very good point to get your attributes. You see, because we're taking all three of these, so all three of these is a dexterity. It's 30 dexterity for me, right? Because each of them gives 10. Now, instead of putting 1 point over here, I'm essentially saving a point by going over here and just getting 30 points in dexterity. For this aura conversion, to being able to fit in malevolence, get that extra 20% damage over time, and then the 20% increased skill effect duration, so you don't have to apply Soulrend as much. Plus, that's getting amplified by all of our increased effective non-cursed aura stuff. So, what we'll be doing is we're going to have to try to find points from everywhere, right? And the best thing you can really do is take the points from growth and decay. Take all of these, because that's, if you add it up, you can. You take all these points, you take all these points all the way up to atrophy, because that's a lot. And then we're going to take those and we're going to put them into cluster jewels. And these cluster jewels will lead to preferably like jewels such as your reckless defense, or your watcher's eye, or your, in this case, your aura, mana reservation jewels. And for these, you want to make sure you have adds 3 passive skills. It's very important that it has 3, and it's very important that the last, I don't really want to ruin this, but I'm going to use it for an example, just so everybody knows. If you want to craft them, there you go, perfect. So you don't want this, right? You don't want it to have pure aptitude. Let's find a better example. Okay, we don't use anger. Oh, my chaos, my few chaos. Okay, there you go. So let's say we were using zealotry, which yeah, we are later, but let's say we're using zealotry. It would make it so zealotry would cost way less. But why that when instead you can have 7% opposed to 50% on one? You can have 7% on like 6 auras, right? It would scale all of your auras down and your future auras down. So it's very important that these don't have a I forgot what they're called, a passive skill. Passive skill. Yeah, that's very important. Alright, and for your medium clusters, I know I don't really talk about it too much, but Septic Spells is really nice, as this scales our, it basically makes our boss damage more relevant by adding more sources of damage, and then scaling all of the sources of damage, because poison is a damage over time ailment, and that gets affected by all of the multipliers and all the chaos damage stuff that we have. So it's nice to have another way to like deal damage, and getting poison on hit on like your implicits for your gloves, like this for example, is a good way to get like a source of adding spell damage, right? Or not adding spell damage, adding damage. You can also get these if you just want to try that more like poison-y route. It's pretty nice with the Serpentine Spellslinger. You would also have access to this Poison Mastery tree, which poisons you inflict on non-poison enemies deal 300% increased damage. That'd be very good on pack clear, I feel, because you apply it to a pack once and your damage over time would kill it. You basically just need an Enlightened on your 3 big ones, so it'd be Determination, Malevolence, and Discipline. And then you would also need this tree. Make sure you have this entire side of this tree. You would need a Aura Reservation cluster with 3. You will need to stack more mana most likely, so you may have to take this this mastery and this mastery for this to happen. So you're going to need a lot of points, and you're going to have to try to take them off of like these things and the ones I said earlier. You're going to want to stack as much mana as you can get all of the mana nodes here. The reason for this is I know that they take a percentage, but we do run Clarity, and Clarity throws everything off. And if basically the more maximum mana you have on your tree, the more auras you can fit, because Clarity throws everything off, but we can't really take off Clarity. Another thing, the new rune graft of the fortress is really nice. It does hit our intelligence, which hits our energy shield, but this is also 40% increased armor and energy shield. When that's what we're stacking, we're literally stacking armor and energy shield, and all we're doing is sacrificing attributes. So that's a very nice rune graft to have. If you have a lot of money, you can get a item level 84, not 83 or lower, 84 or above, a small cluster jewel with 3 passive skills. What this allows for is it allows us to roll a higher roll on the 25% increased effect. With that being said, that would increase the 1% or 7% to 8%, and in total that would be 3%, which it might not sound like a lot, but that will give you enough to, because that's 3% on every aura, remember, and the more auras you have, the more effective those are, essentially. So it's very nice to, that 3% goes a long way, and that goes the same for like any jewel that you might have. I'm not sure if I have any equipped right now. Any jewel that you might have that gives increased aura or increased mana reservation is very nice. It just affects all your auras. Oh, and another tip is, if you are lacking damage and you just got to mapping, or if you got like middle of mapping, let's say you're on yellow maps, you can always just buy a level 21 Soulrend off the market. A player came up to me and said like they were lacking a lot of damage, and I told them about it, but a big thing they said that helped them a lot was just buying a level 21 Soulrend, and it was relatively cheap. So if you're like level 19 or 18 Soulrend and you feel like you need damage, you can buy that level 21 Soulrend. Preferably as much quality as you can get it, but I'm assuming the quality ones are probably more expensive, and then that will help you get more money and stuff for the build. And there's so many variants for the build this league. It's amazing to see. I'm happy to see people adding their own spin on stuff, and especially that elemental golem build that someone was building. Looks really fun. But anyway, that's all for now. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. If you like the video, and if you want to stay around, subscribe, and I will see you soon.